guys, welcome to my channel. Wow, never in a million years did I ever think I'd be saying that phrase. But nonetheless, here I am and I have arrived into Da Nang, Vietnam. I am here in my Airbnb, which I have rented for the month in the area of Da Nang called An Thuong. It is the shore area of the city. I'm about 1 to 2 blocks from My Khe Beach, which was ranked one of the 6 best beaches in the world by Forbes in an article a little over a year ago. So I'm really looking forward to that. I landed yesterday around 2 p.m. after a pretty smooth 32-hour journey from Boston, Massachusetts, my hometown. I caught a taxi from the airport and the ride was pretty awesome. I was able to get a really nice vibe of the city. The way the airport is located, you kind of have to go through the city center of Da Nang to then get to the bridge, which takes you over to the shore area where I am staying. First impressions of the city based on that taxi ride: it is bright, it is busy, and the weather is beautiful. Shed a tear, man. Warm weather alone, man. I could shed them. The taxi driver took me along the shoreline on my trip to the apartment, and I gotta say, the beach really did look pretty damn beautiful. Coming from Boston, where the weather was in the 30s with freezing rain, yeah, the beach is probably gonna be one of the first places I visit, and I really can't wait. The apartment I am staying in is a cozy little studio in a 5-story building. There are about 9 similar apartments in the building. On the first floor, there is the host family who owns the building. All the reviews on Airbnb, they echoed just how warm, welcoming, and just very friendly they were. Just meeting them, I could see how all that is true. They were super friendly. I was greeted by one of the daughters. She was super sweet. She gave me an amazing apartment tour. She let me know that she does the laundry 2 times a week for the guests, and to just leave the clothes out in the hamper that she provided to me. Having the laundry is a huge plus. When I got settled into the apartment a bit and unpacked, I took a little walk around the area, just about a 2 to 3 block radius, just to get a little familiar, pick up a few things, groceries from the local market. There's a few local markets within a couple block radius. 2 of them that I pass are actually 24 hours, so that is very convenient. Then when I got back to my apartment, exhaustion started to settle in pretty fast. My eyes were getting heavier and heavier. I didn't sleep much on the flights. I'm not really a public sleeper. I'm so jealous of all my friends and anyone I know who can just kind of fall asleep at will. I just ended up rolling into bed and passing the freak out, only to wake up around 3:30 a.m. local time. Getting used to the time difference and shaking my body clock is probably gonna take a while for me. So I wanted to give you a little context on what brings me here to Da Nang and why I decided to move across the world. I've always had a burning desire to travel and see the world. I love the fresh perspectives that I kind of get and experience from traveling. The first time leaving the country was actually only 2 years ago for me. I took a group trip to Thailand with friends, and I instantly fell in love. Man, Thailand was awesome, and it really solidified everything I hoped Southeast Asia was going to be for me. Our itinerary was Bangkok, Phuket, and Koh Phi Phi, and I knew at the time, and I know even more so now, that that wasn't even a third of the country that I want to see. There are islands, Koh Tao, Koh Samui, Chiang Mai, which is pretty much the community that is most popular with expats and people who have moved from other countries. I'm dying to go there. So leading up to that trip, just researching the itinerary, what I wanted to do, where we wanted to go, watching vlogs, I realized that there is a strong community of foreigners, whether from America or other parts of the world, who have moved to Southeast Asia. And that kind of snowballed into more and more research, and I was really delving into the areas that people were living and how they were making their means. It was very intriguing to me. Southeast Asia really checks pretty much all my boxes. First being the cost of living. The value here and particularly compared to where I'm from in the western part of the world, is pretty damn amazing. Your dollar goes a long way. The second box, weather. I am definitely a warm weathered soul. I feel like I've had a tortured existence coming up in Boston, Massachusetts, where we get all 4 seasons. The fall, spring, and summer are beautiful, but the winters, they don't make any of the seasons worth it for me. A lot of Southeast Asia is pretty much a tropical climate, so you're gonna get your 80s, you're gonna get your rain, yes, in your rainy seasons, but even when it does rain, a lot of areas, from what I hear, in particularly Da Nang especially, it's pretty much in short spouts, and it doesn't really debilitate your whole day. Third box that Southeast Asia really checks for me is pretty much accessibility to the entire region, no matter where you're located. For example, here in Da Nang, if I wanted to go up to Hanoi, the northern part of Vietnam, the capital of Vietnam, flights were only about 20 to 30 bucks. And if I wanted to leave the country and say go down to Bali or down to Singapore, over to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, Cambodia, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, the list goes on and on. Everything is pretty much affordable. I think the highest I saw was to Singapore, which was about 100 bucks one way. And Southeast Asia really has so much to do. If you're an adventurous soul like myself, you have your ancient temples in the middle of the jungle, world-class scuba diving and snorkeling locations, rock climbing limestone cliffs. Animal lover? This guy is. I went to the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary in Phuket. It was an unreal experience. If you want to come for relaxation, there are beautiful beaches throughout the region. Probably one of the first thoughts you think of when you think of Thailand and Bali. You also have your big bustling cities if you want a taste of that. Bangkok, you have Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, beautifully architectured cities such as Singapore. You know, you just have it all. The local cuisine, the food is made with the sweetest love and super cheap. I know here in Da Nang, you can get local cuisine, you can get banh mi, you can get pho, pretty much all the local cuisines you can pretty much get for about $2 to $3 depending on what you're getting. I chose Da Nang for the weather, the beach, and a bit of a slower lifestyle here. I was very much considering Ho Chi Minh City as well, which is pretty much Vietnam's New York. It's a very big and bustling city, very busy. I imagine it would have been a lot like Bangkok. I do plan to visit there. However, to ease into the lifestyle, living abroad, I decided to come to Da Nang. So I have booked my Airbnb here for a month. I'm gonna take that time to really settle in. And then after the month, I plan to reassess things, see where I'm at, see how I'm liking the city, and decide if I wanna stay or go to another city or country to base myself maybe for another month. Or maybe I decide I want to just start backpacking. Or maybe I just wanna go stay a week here and maybe 2 weeks there and kind of just make my way through Southeast Asia. So I pretty much have an open-ended journey ahead of me. I am very much looking forward to it. One thing I know is I'm very excited. I'm gonna miss my family, I'm gonna miss my parents, but I'm gonna be in constant contact with them. And I know that this journey is something that I really wanted, and it's the right time. So I'm happy to get this first video out of the way. I am not the most photogenic person and not really one for the camera, so it's probably going to be a bit of an adjustment period. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope that you follow me along this journey.